this is my review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay, so contrary to what it may seem, the first episode of the Vanilla Ice arc, Miasma of the Void Vanilla Ice Part 1, is actually a combination of the end of Darby the Player and Miasma of the Void Vanilla Ice. So I'm going to cover the first half, which is the end of the fight against Terrence Darby, and then I'm going to cover the beginning of the fight against Vanilla Ice. So it's first for the first half. So Jotaro has started declaring his pitches in the baseball video game. And sure enough, Darby uses his stand, which is revealed to be able to read a person's soul, provided it's a yes or no question, to actually determine if Jotaro is telling the truth. And sure enough, he is. But then, out of nowhere, Jotaro's pitch suddenly changes, and Terrence is very frustrated because he's not entirely sure what happened. So he quickly becomes more frantic as he tries to figure out how Jotaro is able to hide the fact that he's declaring that he's throwing different pitches while also lying to him using his soul, pointing out that it's impossible for a soul to actually lie. So he quickly figures it out and eventually realizes that Jotaro is in fact cheating, but is having trouble trying to figure out the cause of it. And as he slowly starts to try and figure out the cause of it and tries to work out all the possibilities to try and figure out how Jotaro is possibly cheating, he loses several pitches, and then Jotaro hits a home run. And all the while, Darby becomes increasingly concerned that he's doing something wrong, and is unable to actually find the source of Jotaro's cheating. Actually releases Kakyoin's soul in the process. And then and only then is it revealed that Joseph was actually using his stand Hermit Purple to control the controller in Jotaro's stead, thereby basically making it so that it would be impossible for them to actually read what Jotaro was actually doing, because it wasn't Jotaro doing them. So it was actually a tag team between the two Joestars. So with that, Terrence Darby is swiftly defeated using a rush from Star Platinum, which oddly enough breaks a hole in the sky, which they're able to climb through after realizing that they're actually in one giant room, and actually leave through the hole. Meanwhile, Polnareff, Avdol, and Iggy have waited 10 minutes. Apparently, the past couple of episodes have only taken 10 minutes. But in the past 10 minutes, they've actually waited for the rest of their group to show up again, and they never did. So they decide to venture into the mansion themselves to actually go look for them. However, Dio actually has a surprise for them. So there's this guy, Vanilla Ice, who is Dio's final servant and the final antagonist before they actually get to Dio himself. So Vanilla Ice reports Darby's loss to Dio and points out that they are slowly approaching Dio. But Dio isn't concerned, pointing out that the reason Darby lost was because he didn't fully swear fealty to him and wasn't willing to die. And then explains that he's actually very close to getting his full strength back, but all he needs is a little bit of blood from one last person. At which point Vanilla Ice immediately decapitates himself using his stand Cream, and pours a goblet full of blood for Dio to drink. Dio, however, decides not to accept, and seeing Vanilla Ice's devotion, actually slits his own wrist and uses some of his own blood to revive Vanilla Ice. Pointing out that now he's a vampire and now he has all the powers he needs to actually defeat the rest of the Joestar group. And sure enough, sends Vanilla Ice on his way to defeat the Joestar group before they get to Dio. So Vanilla Ice uses his stand Cream, which is revealed to be able to turn into a black hole by eating itself and its stand user, and then bores through the door to go chase the remaining members of the Joestar group who are now wandering around in Diels Mansion. So, and although Dio does admit that maybe Vanilla Ice should have opened the door first. It is kind of funny though. Dio's just like, Vanilla Ice, just use the damn door next time. But in any case, after arriving in Diels Mansion and after playing it a little bit safe, Avdol actually uses his flames from Magician's Red to actually navigate and figure out where exactly the stand users remaining in the mansion are, and points out that they can actually use this to actually locate Joseph, Jotaro, and Kakyoin. So they use it, but come across a different stand user first, a man named Billie Jean, who Iggy immediately defeats, and it's revealed that his stand, Tenor Sax, is actually the cause of the mansion looking the way it does on the inside. So Tenor Sax doesn't have a physical form. It's just the fact that the mansion looks like a maze. That's its power. But in any case, Billie Jean is taken out without much of a fight. So we never actually see him actually fight, because that's not his role in the series. His role is to make it confusing as hell for people to actually get to Dio, and he did that. So, but he was immediately defeated. So now he's no longer in the series at all. With the mansion now returned to normal, Avdol pushes the rest of the group to keep going. However, as they make their way to Dio, they actually see a message scrawled into one of the columns, which says, "After reading this and turning around, you will die." At which point, Avdol, realizing that Iggy and Polnareff don't know what's going to happen, actually pushes them out of the way, and he's immediately evaporated by Cream, leaving only his arms. And after some very much needed confusion from Polnareff and Iggy, who have no idea what happened, they start looking around for their friend, only seeing his severed arms, which are now lying on the floor, and are unable to actually find him. At which point, Vanilla Ice, talking through his stand, actually reveals that he did in fact kill him and just completely disintegrate him, leaving only his arms. And then, to add insult to injury, picks up his severed arms and pushes them into Cream's mouth, thereby completely erasing Avdol from the show. So Avdol actually dies in this episode. If you guys remember, a long time ago, he died. He died, quote unquote, when he got shot by the Emperor. But now he's actually dead. He got completely disintegrated. There's no coming back from that. So now Avdol is actually dead. And sure enough, Polnareff is having a hard time actually accepting Avdol's death. But in any case, yeah, that's basically Vanilla Ice's power in a nutshell. He's able to use his stand Cream to not only store himself within his stand by being eaten, but also by turning his stand into a black hole by eating itself, which, as I should mention, it completely obliterated Avdol with the exception of his arms, which pushed Iggy and Polnareff out of the way, and now that he's dead, it completely evaporated. There's nothing left. So that should tell you what kind of threat the Joestar group is up against now. They have to defeat a literal black hole in order to progress, and that's going to be interesting because as we know now, Vanilla Ice is actually a vampire because he was given some of Dio's blood to revive himself, which caused him to turn into an undead vampire, which means they're going to have a hard time actually putting him down, even if they get a clear shot on him. So it's going to be very interesting seeing how they actually take down Vanilla Ice. And there's 2 more episodes of this, so I'm assuming it's going to be a very hard-fought battle. But in any case, yeah, Avdol's dead, pretty much. He died almost instantly as soon as they entered the mansion. That's kind of tragic. It's just we finally got him back. He was in the show for a couple more episodes, and now he's just gone. That is crazy. But yeah, Vanilla Ice is clearly going to be one of the more powerful stands in the series and one of the more powerful stand users that they have to fight. So it's going to be interesting seeing how they actually defeat him now. But in any case, yeah, that's my review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. What did you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord server, link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below. And also, if you want to help support the show, then be sure to check out my Patreon. It's only a couple bucks a month. It really helps me out, and you guys get access to a bunch of cool perks that my way saying thanks. So be sure to check this out in the description or the iCard in the end card down as well. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!